So good for you. And here we go, right into our game. So let's introduce our teams. Here on the Radiant side for NSU, it's going to be Conkle, the man with a plan with a very nasty hand that's going to be playing the Rubik. We've got an Axe played by Kataru, going to be heading off to the off lane. Juggernaut will be handled by Zaturk, of course in the mid lane. Got another mid, or pause here. Sven will be handled by Luz. And finally, Ogre Magi is going to be played by Chance. Alright, and here on the Dire side, it's going to be a Lifestealer, played by Arc. They're all invisible here thanks to the smoke. Slardar, going off to the lane, played by Corsi. Doesn't have the team tag. Tinker in the mid lane is going to be Andrea, my old girlfriend. Just kidding. Andrea dumped me a long time ago. CJ is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. And finally, Shadow Shaman, the very creepy man with all the snakes, is going to be played by Plunder. So here we go. We're going to get into this match, and thankfully Conkle has set up the lobby correctly, meaning that my audio does not go over to the teams, which he has done in the past, has done multiple times in the past. I don't even know how the man manages it, because that option, I feel like you have to do it in the console options now. It used to be in Source 1 Dota, but in Reborn there is no option to have all chat in the lobbies. You have to do something very, very weird to actually have that happen. So luckily the lobbies are correct this time around, and USS are going to go for the smoke, their usual smoke on the high ground in the Dire jungle. And they're going around the usual path. They're not going to catch anyone out right now, but they are going to come around the corner, and they'll take the high ground. Plunder goes there, and he's going to get lifted up by the Rubik. Lifted up into the sky, and the spin by Zaturk is also going to be there. Stormhammer comes through. Plunder takes the first death in this game.
Last of my kind, but first.
John Oliver High School not really being ready for the usual smoke from Sharks. I guess not really putting in the work that you need to in order to prepare for that squad, because that is not anything new. That is just very predictable smoke off the beginning of the game for Sharks, and they pick a lineup that allows them to take a bit of an advantage in this game. Right, so Zaturk, he got both the first blood and the rune. He got so much gold after that, sitting on the PMS Iron Branch and 2 shared tangos. Tinker's just going to say, you know what, you win this round. I'll put down some Marches of the Machines, because I don't necessarily know if he's going to do well here. Generally, Tinker does go for the laser first. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing against an early Juggernaut, but I guess he just wants to force him out. But in the end, these machines won't really be all that effective. And I don't want to be too, I don't know, negative towards the team, but I'm not really feeling this machine level first. It's very easy and simple for Zaturk just to go levels into Healing Ward to basically negate the damage from the March of the Machines. And, I mean, if you force out mana from a Juggernaut, it takes 120 mana for him to use a Blade Fury. He's only got 2 of those in his mana pool after about like a little bit of intelligence. So even if you do use a laser, which really isn't all that hard for a Tinker, I mean, it's going to be really difficult for Juggernaut to lane against that. And you're not going to be receiving a whole lot of Harasser either. In the top lane, I'm a little bit surprised that the Ogre is up here with the Axe, but it'll give him some more survivability. Ignite's going to put some pressure onto these players. Kotaro misses that CS. Oh no. Oh no. Get the deny. Oh, he did. Nice job. But he's taking a lot of harass from the Vengeful Spirit, and she doesn't have the minus armor there. They're just going to try to keep Axe there. Arc actually doesn't go to slow him down. He went for Feast first. Just some very interesting level choices to start out. But John Oliver, they could go for it again. Kotaro is very low, and he's trying to heal up with the Tango, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it a whole lot. Arc going on by Chance, and maybe Chance gets caught out here. So they're kind of splitting their aggression onto 2 different heroes, and Plunder is going to get stunned out here. That could be the second blood. Yeah, goes over to the Shadow Shaman. Axe is so very tanky, but still, the Dire squad will win that battle at the top lane for the first bit of the game. Oh, as a Turk, he's getting a lot of harass here. I mean, you can see how much easier this lane gets when Tinker puts levels into the laser. I mean, Zaturk is just forced so far back. But maybe if Andrea had a few more levels at this point and also started putting them into the heat-seeking missile, where they seek the heat, maybe they'd be seeking the heat of Juggernaut as well. And Andrea, he's got a laser. Not going to get in range for it, though. And the first runes come up. That's going to be an Invis rune for Conkle. And Chance can save this bounty for the Juggernaut if he ever gets over there. There's going to be a spin here, and Tinker's way too far out. This is the problem. If ever Zaturk gets on top of you with that spin, it's going to be a whole lot of hurt for that mid laner, and Tinker just really wasn't respecting that at all. So you can put a ton of burst damage on him, but as soon as Juggernaut goes into that spin, all of your damage is moot, and you can't do nothing about it. We've got Swardar being stunned out. Stormhammer already used. I want to say that was a little bit of well, it probably wasn't stacking, but in the end, Swardar just takes a ton of damage, and he really doesn't want to be close to this top, whatever lane this is. He doesn't want to be close to it at all, just because of all the cleave damage that Sven is doing. And now Zaturk's going to go for another spin on Tinker, really putting the pressure on him to get out of this lane, forcing out a TP as well from the Shadow Shaman. Now they know that the spin is down, but Shadow Shaman, it's so hard for him to get into range of this, and he was in range of the vision as well. So Chance goes back over and helps Zaturk. I mean, all this harass that he's taking, he really doesn't mind too much at all. Swardar going to get lifted up, and the Centaur is not going to be stomping anyone just yet. Quercy trying to get away. They don't have another stun for it. Luz is going to get stunned out now here by the Magic Missile, but unfortunately the Shadow Shaman way too slow. He needs to get more Sanic with his speed. Meanwhile, at mid, Zaturk just goes for another spin, and Tinker caught it out again. Easy dive for the Juggernaut, and an easy heal as well with the Golden Kitty healing up back at bottom. We've got another lift out on the Quercy. Luz having to get that save to stay alive a little bit more, and they've got some great stuns here. It's just with all these heroes rotating over, they can't really do so much about it anymore. So with all of this fracas going on around the map, Tinker and Juggernaut basically tied for CS on the mid lane, but the Lifestealer coming out on top of that chart. Definitely well ahead of the Sven, who's having to worry about this Swardar quite a bit more than he would like to. Kunkle's got to get on to his harass game. Oh man, lots of stuff going on here. Players can't really have that stable connection. You know, something tells me they shouldn't let these players build their own PCs because, you know, it might not be the brightest crayon in the box. And it might be, you know, the off-brand stuff as well, not Crayola. I'm all about those Crayola crayons. I'm not sponsored either. So, I'm not selling out. I'm just appreciating a product. That's all I'm doing. But man, Zaturk with that first blood and then 2 kills on the Tinker, he's really taking control of this game. It's just a situation where the Tinker, he gets way too close to a wave. He doesn't have the best attack animation in the game as well, so he takes a little bit of harass from the Juggernaut, and it's just a spin to win and a spin to die for the Tinker. So also a spin to disconnect for him as well. Has gotten back into the match, and hopefully he's okay, not too terribly bruised from that DC. And we'll get right back into this one. Eventually. Remember that we do have 2 games here regardless of what happens. Chance, I really like the way that he's rotating around the map right now. Definitely is needed quite a bit at bottom, but he has put good pressure on the mid before. When the Tinker was going for some aggression on the Juggernaut, he was there to kind of dissuade him. Being a little bit savage there. Alright, so how is this game gonna go? I guess that's the next question to answer right now. Basically, Ogre's going to bloodlust people. And then he's going to stun people. Then he's going to ignite people. It seems like a very simple game for Ogre players, and that's alright, because generally they're not the brightest. Lots of people aren't the brightest sometimes. Take a look at this big stack, though. We've just got a bunch of skeleton dudes hanging out in the hard camp. We've got a lot of people going over there. And, you know, the John Oliver boys are going to run away. They do get scattered out, so they'll be seen picking up the haste rune. And unfortunately, CJ doesn't have enough mana for a magic missile. So he basically takes an opportunity to go into the secret shop pretty much for nothing. I mean, it's not like he has any gold to buy anything there. Prices can be pretty steep, and oh no, Zaturk, he might be running right into it. The stun is not going to be there, and they're just going to get spun down. Plunder has to stay close. He has to get in range for his Hex and his Shackles, but he's just not able to get it. Now he's going to get stunned out. Zaturk, oh, he needs a little bit more mana for an Omni Slash. He's going to run right in. He's not going to put it out just yet. He's got to get into this. The Martial Machines is going to be there, but Zaturk, he just ends that Omni Slash right in the middle of it. So he does kill off the Tinker, which is probably the best kill that he could have been hoping for. But when he goes for that, there's basically no way that he doesn't go down. So I think he knew that he had to die. You know, there's this thing in Dota, where you can't do too well. Right? You got to get that meta going in. There was a rubber band mechanism put in after TI4, and it's been it's got a lot of elasticity taken out of it, so it's not as snappy. But oh no, Zaturk going right for Andrea again, and Andrea's just getting blocked out. Zaturk's moving so fast with those phase boots. Now Laser's going to be there. Andrew doesn't seem too happy about this at all. He's got his Fairy Fire still. That's a little bit strange considering all the deaths that he's had so far. Shadow Shaman going to get the stun off on the Ogre matchup, but this is the tankiest guy here. And Zaturk has another spin in 6 seconds. There's a spin going to be there. Andrea very low, and Zaturk's just going to back up. The kitty gets killed off. Poor kitty. And now Zaturk gets an Invis rune. Oh my gosh. Tinker is most likely dead. Zaturk getting very close to that tower range, but Andrea's just going to go down to the bottom lane and pick up the bounty rune there. And Juggernaut just lets the Invis rune go. Conkle has the Sentry Ward, immediately going to take out that ward. Yeah, very lucky that his Observer was still up, allowing him to see that ward being placed down. And things have calmed down a little bit here. We're at 7 minutes in the game. Perhaps that's just me feeling the pause. The puppy pause. Very soft puppy paws. But it seems like the pace has kind of calmed down a little bit. The players are starting to get back to their farming. Andrea's not going so far up. He's at 1,000 gold right now. And Zaturk is going to dive him a little bit. He's got an Omni Slash, and no creeps means that there is no one else to tank up that damage. Now Zaturk trying to get away, has to go for the phase boost to get out, and he's going to go for a bit of an interesting path right now. He's going to go up to the high ground. Oh, how many friends is he going to get here? The stun basically does nothing because it's not really leveled up all that much. Zaturk gets a Bloodlust to get away. Quercy ready with the crush, and he will be able to use it on the chance. So keep him there a little bit more, and the creeps will be doing a lot of damage to the Ogre as well. So he'll take the death for his team. He'll be the proverbial Jesus for the Shark squad. Dying for the sins of Zaturk. Meanwhile, Axe is still farming up pretty well. He's got his Tranquil Boots up right now, and he's getting a little bit closer to the Blink Dagger. Has taken 1 death. And they give space to Sven as well, so he picks up his Helm of the Dominator, and he's ready to get that creep started on making some stacks around the map, increasing the farm by a whole lot for Sven. Katara moves forward, really taking advantage of their mechanical skills in this lineup. Kicharu should be fairly good against the Lifestealer. And we're thinking about going on to Andre. He could get hit with a stun. He does. The Turk is there with the spin if needed. Or actually, it's on cooldown. They're just going to straight up chase him down. And how far do they go for it? Andrea uses the Fairy Fire, but it don't matter, not at all. It's just going to be the Turk getting the crit strike. And at top, eventually the Axe does get zip-zapped down. Not by the Storm Spirit, but by Plunder. So 2 kills across the map. Axe takes another fall out top, meaning that his Blink Dagger is going to be a bit more delayed now. He's trying to build it up right now, has 1,000 gold in his inventory. So eventually, I mean, he's a couple hundred gold above the Slaughter. Eventually, he'll be basically neck and neck if he takes too many more of these deaths. Bottom tower taking a lot of damage from Luz and the rest of the Shark squad. He's got the extra armor if he wants it at some point. Sora's going to be here. Has a crush available, but he doesn't want to be too aggressive. Now Juggernaut goes for another Omni Slash at mid. That's with the double damage rune as well, and that's another death on Tinker. Down to 300 gold, 6 deaths in 10 minutes. That is not how you want to play the game of Dota, especially if you're the mid laner. He's putting his team at a huge disadvantage, but he does have a way to get back into this one. Slaughter being forced away from the Ogre, and that's going to allow Conkle to get in range for the stun, put right back into Luz, who has the stun available. He'll get it on the 2, but not before the Shadow Chain was able to put the Hex on the Luz, and he'll chase him down. Tries to go for the zap, but it's not going to matter at all. Luz very low. He's got the amplified damage on him still, but he is completely fine. Hoping to heal up a little bit. Has those Ancients right there if he wants to steal some health from them, but he'll just TP back to the base. And now the Rubik steals the minus armor from CJ, getting blocked out a little bit by the very fat Ogre Magi. Nothing wrong with fat people. Swapped right back in towards the Tinker. Stun's going to come out. Oh, Tinker gets the Vengeful Spirit dropped right on his face. Vengeful Spirit, quite a lithe figure, but unfortunately not ever taken down. And interestingly enough, the Tinker's gone for full levels into the Martian Machines, not really having faith at all. Conkle goes to the high ground only to steal a laser. I don't really feel like this is worth it. Vengeful Spirit uses her mana to get the minus armor off. She has a stun now. Zector comes in from the backside, goes for the stun, or the spin rather. CJ getting chased down, lift up onto the Slaughter. Slaughter! Oh, he's got a free Juggernaut right now, puts the amplified damage right on top of him. I have no idea what Zector thought he was doing there. He was trying to man fight against 4, and he's only a Juggernaut at 11 minutes without an Omni Slash. That didn't really seem like the best idea he's had this game, but hopefully he'll have some more that are better. Lifestealer is getting his armlet delivered to him right now. And let's take a look at the stack. This creep, maybe he's been shirking his duties a little bit. We saw the Helm of the Dominator just run over at 8 minutes. But we only see 2 stacks there right now. So we should be seeing some more soon. Oh, that's a blink from the Axe. He's on the high ground, hexed up by Shadow Shaman, and the stun is going to be there. Trying to get that call at exactly the right time. Shadow Shaman running out of mana very quickly. That's the slam dunk by Kicharu. Ready for that one. Stun goes out. Magic Missile right onto the Ogre Magi. And Tinker's going to be trying to clear out the creeps right now. But Axe, he's got some other ideas. Kicharu gets the minus armor on him. Vengeful Spirit lifted up. Kicharu ready with the Blink Dagger, and he'll get the call only onto the Tinker. Lifestealer is here to do some good damage. Can Kicharu get away? They'll get the Omni Slash on the 2. The Turk gets a double. Arc will find the kill on the Axe, but can he manfight all of this? His rage is down for another 10 seconds. Can he get into the creep? Can he armor toggle enough? It is not going to happen. He can't get away from those spinning blades. Can Chance die, or did he take too much of one? Looks like he's fine, and the Sharks are just kind of rolling right over the Jokers. They can take a kill on the Axe. They can take a kill maybe on someone else, getting very close on the Ogre, but it's just not enough. And eventually Sharks become too strong, and take a look at this Sven. He's still at bottom, farming up as best as he can right now. Juggernaut's got the Yasha now. His chance moves forward, puts down a nice ward. With some pretty good vision of the mid lane. We'll see it a little bit more once these creeps are dead.
I'll take that.
Yeah, he sees all that. It's quite a bit of vision that observer ward places down.
Dire's top tower
Creep is doing a little bit better at his job. Huh. Is that 4 stacks now? Getting a lot more stacks on that for the Sven to take. Gotta be careful of those ancient black dragons. Make things a little bit tankier. And I would think that when Sven gets up to his Echo Saber, which he is nearly at, he'll be running around the map a little bit better. Tinker's still farming up. He hasn't taken any levels into rearm. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, we have a bit of aggression here. Slaughter trying to farm up. It's just a bunch of supports and Juggernaut here right now. And the level of danger isn't all that high. Now the Radiant, they're just trying to push in. They don't really want all that much else.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Perhaps Sven's going for a Sanjin Yashi. He hasn't picked up his Echo Saber just yet. Echo Saber is a huge item for him whenever he decides to get it. I don't really suggest going for a Sanjin Yashi right now. Just because the damage output from Echo Saber is so damn high. The Turk is going to chase down CJ, goes for the spin. There's nothing he can do about this except for maybe swap, but he's right next to him anyway, and he does do that short-range swap. Wasn't going to do too much there, but at least he used his ability. Unfortunately, that means that it's going to be down. Now Luz is going to TP away from this. Slaughter still not at his Blink Dagger, should get it with his creep wave. And Sharks, it's just like they have no fear right now. They're pushing up so far with the Sven, so far with the Juggernaut.
Dire's middle tower
They don't really care about what's going on the map right now. And Juggernaut still has his double damage rune. Let's take a look at their vision. They're going to see Arc move into it right now. They did see one on the high ground. They're kind of moving around right now. Looking for that aggressive gank. It's an Invis rune on Satur. Can he catch out his target? Moving over towards Tinker. Omnislash would be enough to kill him. He's going to have to run through the Martial Machines for it. These creeps are going to be going down pretty soon. And he'll get the spin off. Andrea, very low. Swap away. Oh no! He swapped him right back over towards the Tinker. Oh my god, and there's an Omnislash. It's on the way too many heroes, and he's going to have to get away. The stun's going to be there. And here's an axe. Gets a triple call! He's saving Saturn for now, healing up with the cats. The cats keeping him alive, and it's going to very nearly be a full 5-man team up. Can they finish it off? Spin chasing down Ark. He's going to have to turn around, but it's not going to happen. Crush stolen by Conko, and he'll just ride that horsey to victory. They'll take care of these wards as well. 16 minutes into the game, and Sharks, they're just gobbling up their prey, and how fitting because it's almost time for Thanksgiving. Sven makes his way back over towards mid. Why not? Put the Storm Bolt on the creep. Who even cares? Just take it out of here and take this mid lane. Take it from me. Oh, TP gets canceled. That could have been a lot of trouble for Jokers if they actually finished out TP. Tinker, he really just wants to finish off these boosted travels so he can delay this game a little bit more, but he hasn't even gotten levels into the rockets yet. His burst damage is really suffering right now. Zaturk just buys up an item right now, and it is his Manta style being completed. So Slar is going to have a little bit less of an effect. And what a call from Kataru in the last fight. Now it does get scoured out by the Dire Observer. Andrea unfortunately forced to disconnect again. And he is back now, just some more internet problems. Hopefully that's the end of it. If we take a look at the what should probably be a very scary XP and net worth problem. Yeah, XP is 12,000 and plus in favor of the Sharks, and net worth is even worse, 14,000. Really taking control of this match, and I mean, Jokers definitely have a great strategy behind them, but the problem is they haven't really been able to get to their items as fast as they would like to. Yeah, they do have the blink stun on Slaughter now, so they could go for the Lifestealer bombs. Tinker has his boots of travel, so they're catching up right now. It's not like all is lost for them, but man, just look how much those rockets actually do to the Juggernaut illusions. Barely killing them at all. Just tickling them. And Rubik still has the crush, working towards a Blink Dagger of his own. He's about 250 gold away from that.
Juggernaut!
So now aggression goes on to the mid lane for the Sharks. Roshan's still available. Haven't really gone for that at all. Definitely be great for them, but take a look at Ogre. He's getting closer and closer to Arc. He'll get the stun off, but this is a life steal that you're dealing with, and Sven just took down a random Tinker at top. Didn't even see that coming. But it ends up being a great kill. And they've got a lot of pressure on the 2 lanes right now. Vision from the Dire, they do see quite a bit of the Radiant side. As Ogre makes his way back over to top, got that 4-staff recipe in the inventory there.
Is under attack.
Sharks are grouping up right now, looking for a feeding frenzy. So Turk moving forward. We've seen what he can do with his aggression before, and he should be able to get his team in on it as well. They need this lane pushed in. They're being a little bit lethargic, honestly, since we're not quite in range. And here comes the aggression on the top. Going for the tier 2 here. Their first tier 2 of the game. We're 19 minutes in, 20 kills to 6. We've got no chance at a 3-2-2 here. Or is there? Only time will tell. Axe will just spin these creeps down. And Radiant don't really have any vision of Jokers at all. And it's not like they're mobilizing to defend top at all. It's far from it. Ogre's getting closer and closer to the 4-staff as Axe gets even tankier. Gotta push out mid. I mean, the vision here from the teams isn't really all that bad. Dire do see a lot of their own jungle, so that they don't get ganked. The problem is, if Radiant are already there, how are you going to reclaim it at all? Axe TP's over to bottom. And Xiaoxing is right near lose. Does he actually want to go on this at all? Oh, he gets turned into a chicken. Meanwhile, someone's getting caught out inside the Radiant jungle. Let's take a quick look over there. Actually going to get a call off onto the Slaughter. Meanwhile, Sven thinking about turning around. He's going to go right for the Xiaoxing, stunned up by the Vengeful Spirit. And he's going to be caught out on the low ground. Meanwhile, Svar trying to run and slither away for his life from bottom. Can the Turk find anyone here? Oh, Bieber. Mr. Bieber, you've been too far up. Tinker's going to come in. Omnislash goes over to the creeps, and Axe Call going to be slightly off the mark. And unfortunately, Conkle in with the slam from Kichwaru. Very quickly taking it down and lose. He'll come in with a Storm Blow right on the Tinker. He was very shortly on the top lane, and the Sharks just say, "Get out of my house." We're going to take this one over. We're going to repo. Buyback from Tinker. He absolutely has to defend this right now, and if he goes down, can't really imagine that the game wouldn't be so far behind. And Lewis goes right in. He says, "Not today. You belong to me," and that will indeed be the GG. Tinker getting caught out 1 times too many. Really a game that left much to be desired from him. So hopefully we see some more Dota action from him that goes well in game number 2. Hopefully this Tinker can come back and show us exactly what he's made of as we go on in the High School Star League group stage. That was the Sharks taking a pretty convincing victory over John Oliver High School, and behind a very good Sven and Juggernaut, and some nice calls from Max. It was, I said this pretty much every single time, but it was indeed a team effort, and the Sharks will hopefully try to take that momentum into game number 2, as we will also go there in the hopes of seeing some more beautiful Dota action. So thank you for joining me, Pythian Legume. If you want to find out when I'm going live, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Pythian Legume, and also on twitch.tv/Pythian Legume. That's a lot of P's and L's in there, but I want to thank you guys for watching Game 1, and I hope that you'll join us for Game 2 in just a few moments on High School Star League 2. And as always, cheers.